Welcome to the Import Precision Preview, where we'll show you a brief overview of the installation, the VLS's operation, and then some shots of the VLS in action. So let's get started. To install your VLS, you must first remove some body components, starting with the side skirt, followed by the plastic wheel well fender inserts, and then finally the fender. While we have found that this part of the install actually takes more time than the hinge mounting itself, it is little more than locating and removing the bolts and clips holding these parts on. Once these pieces have been removed, we can get at the door wiring and hinges easily. Here we have disconnected the wiring harness for the door lock and window controls. We'll now tap out the stop pin so that the door opens freely. The wiring harness right here has been rerouted through this one. It used to be right here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to have to drum off a little bit of this metal right here so that the unit will attach up here. Eric is now going to take care of this metal lip on the side wall of the car. This could be the most technical part of the installation process. As we zoom in, you'll see that we've already marked it from this point here to this point. This is the only part you'll need to remove for the unit to sit flush. We've obviously edited this video down for time, but this entire cutting process only took us about 15 minutes. Eric pays attention to some final touches as he dremels down the lip to a nice smooth surface, and we set the VLS unit up against the body to make sure it sits flush and the metal lip is out of the way. So here's Larry stripping the wires off here from the door harness, and this is the harness that he's already wired up into our extensions right here, which are going to allow for the extra distance that the wires need to go when the door is in the VLS mode. Okay, what we've done now is we've attached the VLS kit, or the door onto the car with the VLS kit there. You can see Eric's pointing out the bolts there that we had to tighten. Now those had to remain loose until we align the door. The different dimensions that the door can take are moving up and down this way, as well as backwards and forward. But I was over here holding it while they had it a little bit loose, and we got it to the right point. I held it there. We did a few tests to make sure we had it in the right place. Now we're tightening it down because it seems to be a perfect fit. Now we've lifted up the door to VLS mode, and we are going to attach the shock here while Eric holds it up. Screws in. Then flip it onto the bolt here. Lower it down just slightly. There it is. With the VLS installed and the wire extensions attached, we've gone ahead and wrapped our wires in electrical tape for a nice clean OEM look. We've zip tied the wires to the VLS, so as you can see, when in vertical mode, they stay nice and flush. The VLS is now installed. We'll put the fender back on, the side skirt back on, and we're all done. So now the VLS is installed, but you might be wondering why that door is opened up in VLS mode and this is opened up in OEM mode. Well, that's one of the unique things about the VLS system. It opens both ways. Let me show you how to do it and how easy it is. You lift your door up just slightly in order to access the VLS. Reach in here, flip a bolt, which keeps the door from opening up. Simply lift it up, and you're in VLS mode. So let's take a look at some clips of the shot of the VLS installed.